सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। जय देवी शारदे विद्या विशारदे जय देवी शारदे विद्या विशारदे विद्या बुद्धि प्रदे वरदे शुभदे जय देवी शारदे शृंगार रूपिणी शृंगेरी वासिनी शृंगार रूपिणी शृंगेरी वासिनी प्रशांत वदने तमोहारि वरदे जय देवी शारदे ब्रह्म हृदयेश्वरी देवी वागीश्वरी पाहि परमेश्वरी तुषार शिखरेश्वरी ब्रह्म हृदयेश्वरी देवी वागीश्वरी पाहि परमेश्वरी तुषार शिखरेश्वरी भावरागलयताळ ज्ञानविलोले भावरागलयताळ ज्ञानविलोले काश्मीरपुरवासिनी वीणा विनोदिनी जय देवी शारदे। ॐ यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै। Let us chant from verse number 13. ज्ञेयं यत्तत् प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वामृतमश्नुते अनादिमत्परं ब्रह्म न सत्तन्नासदुच्यते सर्वतः पाणिपादं तत् सर्वतोक्षिशिरोमुखं सर्वतः श्रुतिमल्लोके सर्वमावृत्य तिष्ठति सर्वेन्द्रियगुणाभासं सर्वेन्द्रियविवर्जितम् असक्तं सर्वभृच्चैव निर्गुणं गुणभोक्तृ च बहिरन्तश्च भूतानां सूक्ष्मत्वात्तदविज्ञेयं दूरस्थं चान्तिके च तत्। The chapter begins by a question by Arjuna. What is the question? Bhagavan, I would like to know what is Kshetra, what is Kshetrajna, what is Purusha, what is Prakriti, and what is Jnaya and what is Jnana. 6 aspects. Bhagavan starts the answer by explaining, in fact by stating that this Kshetrajna is me myself. Kshetra is the body and Kshetrajna, the knower of this Kshetra, is me. Then Bhagavan says, what is Kshetra? So what all come under Kshetra? Avyaktam, Mahattattva, Ahankara, Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, Antakarana, then Sthula Panchamahabhutas. All these come under Kshetra, and it has its vikara also, modifications also. Ichha, Dvesha, Sukha, Dukkha, Sanghata, Chetana, Dhritihi. So after explaining Kshetra, Bhagavan takes up the topic of Jnana. And what does Bhagavan say in Jnanam? Nothing but virtues of life. Amanitvam, adambhitvam, etc. And Bhagavan says, Etat jnanam iti proktam ajnanam yadato nyatha. These virtues are nothing but jnanam alone. So yesterday we had seen this jnanam, these virtues, they become the qualification to gain spiritual knowledge. And also after gaining spiritual knowledge, these virtues become the expressions of the spiritual knowledge. Now this is a very important point, because spiritual knowledge is the only solution to all our problems, really speaking. There may be other temporary solutions, but if there is one permanent solution for all our problems, it is only spiritual knowledge. What are the problems we are facing? Two major problems. Number one, sorrow. Number two, insecurity. These are the two major problems faced by everyone. Sorrow comes from the realization that we are limited. The experience of limitation gives rise to sorrow, and the experience of impermanence gives rise to insecurity. I am aware that this body is impermanent. This body which I consider to be me is impermanent. Today or tomorrow it has to die. So that leads to insecurity. So the two major problems we are all facing is sorrow and insecurity. So what are we seeking? We are seeking happiness and security. All of us, whatever we are doing in life, we are seeking happiness and security. Now the question is, can the world give us this? The answer is absolute no. Can spiritual knowledge give us this? The answer is absolute yes. Then why is it that majority of the people are not interested in this knowledge? We are all suffering from these two problems, and here is this knowledge which is promising you that you will get it. Then why is it that majority of the people, manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhe. Bhagavan himself is saying this. Among thousands, maybe hardly one will turn to this direction, the spiritual direction. Why is it that there is so much of rarity in seeking this knowledge? So this answers this question. Virtues. A mind which has not cultivated these noble virtues will not be attracted towards this knowledge. This we see in life. A mind which has none of these virtues, or very few of them, or no, such a mind will not be attracted towards this knowledge. We find in our family also. Very many times we want our family members to come and gain the benefit of this knowledge, but we are not able to bring them here. We have understood that this is the most precious thing in life, but still why is it that we are not able to bring our near and dear ones to this? The reason is this: virtues. Just like an iron piece is helplessly attracted towards a magnet, you don't have to do anything, you have to just place that magnet, place that iron piece in front of that magnet, it will get attracted. You don't have to do anything because that is natural. In the same way, for a mind which is pure, for a mind which is open to goodness, truthfulness, for that mind, this spiritual knowledge is like a magnet. It cannot but get attracted. But still, if we find that we are not getting attracted to this knowledge, it simply means what? That iron piece is covered with some kind of impurity. That's why that iron piece is not getting attracted. Either it has rust or mud or whatever. In the same way, an impure mind will not be attracted towards this knowledge. Now, this statement is made not to label others as impure. This statement is made just to look within ourselves. If we are not very much getting attracted to this knowledge, problem is with our mind. So therefore, we have to aggressively cultivate these virtues. Right? Then the rest, everything will follow. Problem is not that the magnet is not attracting the iron piece. No, that is not the problem. Attraction is there. The problem is iron piece is impure. Right? So this aspect we will have to keep in mind. Right. So after having explained what is kshetra and what are the virtues to be cultivated to gain this knowledge, Bhagavan then goes to explain what is this kshetrajna. So this kshetrajna is called Jnēya Vastu, the one thing to be known. Jnēyam yatyat pravakshyami yajñātva amritam ashnute. Knowing which, what is the benefit of knowing this, the Supreme Self, this kshetrajna? We become immortal. So the knowledge is regarding knowledge of the self. So how is it defined? It is Parabrahma, it is Anadimat, beginningless, and it is neither Sat nor Asat. So according to the context, you will find the meaning of Sat and Asat changing. So here Sat and Asat means existence and non-existence. Some other place Sat Asat may mean Sthula Sukshma. Some other place Sat Asat may mean cause effect. Of course, all those meanings are applicable here also. Brahman is beyond cause and effect. Brahman is beyond Sukshma and Sthula. They are all applicable. Right. Sat Asat also means existence, non-existence. So Brahman is that which is beyond this relative existence and non-existence. Then what is that Brahman? That Brahman is that which is giving existence to everything. Whatever is there in this world, everything exists because of that Brahman. Loke sarvam avritya tishtati. It pervades everything and then it exists. Remember, what is this Brahman? It is not some Brahman somewhere. It is the real me. It is my true nature. The biggest mistake the scientific world is doing while trying to inquire into the nature of the truth of this cosmos. What is the biggest mistake? The biggest mistake is they have completely ignored the observer. Their entire field of study is in the observed world. This is a mistake. They have taken this observer for granted. They say there is nothing to analyze as far as the observer is concerned. What is there? It's just an observer. Most important is what is observed, the world. So their entire direction of analysis is extroverted analysis. Going deep into space, going deep into atom, etc., etc. The whole direction itself is wrong. What is Vedanta saying? There is nothing there in the observed thing. The real thing is the observer. Observer is everything. In fact, the observed world doesn't even exist. It is a mere illusion. It is only a projection of the mind. Turn your attention and seek the observer. Paranchikhani vyatranat swayambhu tasmat parang pashyate na antaratman kaschid dhirah pratyagatmanam aikshat avritta chakshuhu amrutatvam icchan. Kathopanishad. There it is said, by making the sense organs extroverted, God has killed the sense organs and killed that person also. Very, very rare few, kaschidhira, very rare few, desiring immortality, avritta chakshuhu, they look within. Amrutatvam icchan, and they get it. So the whole focus of spirituality is to look within. Everything is inside. And therefore, introvertedness is glorified in scriptures. Extrovertedness is criticized. If you see the Indian culture, always we have discouraged extrovertedness. That is the Indian culture. That's why if you see, of course, it is a different topic. The moment a lady becomes a widow, she is immediately given a white dress and she is disgraced from attending all the family functions, etc. Why? It is not because she is inauspicious, no. The moment she has become a widow, now she is free from all kinds of family responsibilities. So this could be a wonderful opportunity for her to look within. That is the reason. Because the purpose of life is moksha. That is possible only by knowing the self. And knowing the self is possible only when you look within. So Bhagavan himself as though has provided an opportunity for a lady to escape from this grihasthashrama. Maybe she is fit directly for the sannyasashrama, the highest, where your entire time can be devoted only for the pursuit of spirituality. So when such a great possibility is there, that lady is asked to wear a white dress. What is white dress? White means purity. From now on, remain pure. Meditate only on God. Right? So when we don't understand the scriptures, we think we are doing injustice to that lady. So all those people who are criticizing all these customs and traditions, first of all, they have to understand what the scriptures are saying. What is the purpose of life? Only then you will understand why all these traditions, why all these customs are made. Right. Anyway, that is not our topic. Let us come back. So, the mistake which all the scientist community are doing, they have to commit mistake because they are trying to find the truth of this universe independently without depending on the Shastras, the Vedas, etc. They don't have faith in the Vedas. They are trying to find the truth independently, and this is where they make the big mistake. What is the mistake? Observer is ignored. Whereas the essence of the Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara is nothing but the observer alone. So number one, observer is ignored. And what is the second mistake the scientist communities are doing? The second mistake is they don't have any values for virtues. In science, you will never find any value given for the noble virtues of life. Whereas here Bhagavan says it is the virtues which will make you fit to know the ultimate reality. Yesterday we had seen Sukshmatvat tad avitneyam. If you want to know the truth, that truth is extremely subtle. In fact, it is the subtlest. The subtlest thing can be known only through a subtle mind. Only a pure mind is a subtle mind. So therefore, if the mind is not purified, such a mind can never know the ultimate reality. Right? So the two major mistakes made by the scientific community. So the question is, will they reach the truth? Impossible. Impossible. Even if they do research upon consciousness, you will find all these articles which are written by great scientists. They are doing research on consciousness. But interestingly, according to them, consciousness also is an observed thing. They give some theories of neurons, etc. Gone. The moment your consciousness is an observed thing, your direction itself is gone. Finished. What is neuron? It is something observed. Means what? It is drishyavastu. Means what? It is not drashta. Gone. You see? So when we say one of the major qualifications of gaining Vedantic knowledge is Shraddhā. Shraddhā is a very important virtue. What is Shraddhā? Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu Vishwasaha Shraddhā. Having faith in the words of the teacher, in the words of Vedanta, this faith is absolutely necessary. Only when you have faith, you will walk the path shown by the teacher, shown by Vedanta. Otherwise you are misled, you are lost. And this we can see, very clearly we can see. Right. Now this Brahman is defined as that which pervades everything in this world. Loke sarvam avritya tishtati. So what is the nature of this Brahman? It is existence. Sat is a property, it is the nature of Brahman. So therefore, the world which depends on Brahman will have to have this property, the property of Sat, existence. So what do we find in this world? Everything is existing. How do you say something is existing? You say that thing is. This thing is. That isness is nothing but existence. That existence doesn't belong to it. That existence belongs to Brahman, the pure consciousness, the Supreme Self. So one of the meditations is existence meditation. One of the very many meditations upon God. One meditation is existence meditation. What is that existence meditation? You just pay attention to the isness of that thing. Understood? That thing is. Pay attention to that isness. Means what? Don't pay attention to the nama rupa of that thing. The name and form. Ignore it. Just pay attention to that isness. Are you able to follow? It's a subtle meditation. You are not interested in what that thing is. You are just interested in the fact that that thing is. And that isness is what? It is nothing but God. It is Sat. It's a very unique kind of meditation. So many techniques are there. This is one among many techniques. So what will happen? What will happen is attraction towards everything will go away. Repulsion also will go away. Both raga and dvesha both disappear. You cannot like isness, nor can you hate isness. Yes or no? What is the mistake we are doing? The mistake we are doing is we become so caught up in the name and form that we completely forget the easiness of that thing, the existence of that thing. You will always observe that reality will never bind us. It's a law. Reality will never bind us. Reality is easiness of a thing. It will never bind us. The reality is everything is made of 5 elements. It will never bind us. If your attention is upon the 5 elements, if our attention is upon the easiness of a thing, it will never bind us. What is that which binds us? The moment our attention goes into the attractiveness of that thing, which is nothing but rupa, then what happens? Your attention shifts to that attractiveness of the thing, and then you drop or you ignore the fact that it is only ease. It is only made of 5 elements. That fact is forgotten. This is called as Maya. What are the 2 powers of Maya? Avarana Shakti and Vikshepa Shakti. So this Maya, it covers the easiness of that thing. That is the reality actually. It covers the easiness, and then it projects the attractiveness, which is nothing but illusion. Any human body, an attractive human body, what is it? Reality or illusion? It is nothing but illusion. Because any attractive human body is nothing but 5 elements. This is reality. That reality will not bind you. Any human body is, that easiness is reality. It will not bind you. But everything else, all the other makeups, it is nothing but illusion. And it is this illusion which binds us. So one among many meditation is just pay attention to the existence of that thing, the reality of that thing. Then suddenly you will find all attraction for it vanishing. And then what happens? Your mind is in easiness. Such a mind will be free from raga-dvesha. Such a mind can be easily withdrawn. A mind which is free from raga-dvesha can be easily withdrawn from the world. Such a mind can be easily fixed upon the amness in you. Withdraw the mind from easiness, fix the mind upon amness. What is this amness? I am. Kshetrajna. Right. I am, therefore that is. Yesterday we had seen. It is this consciousness which is supporting the whole world, which is giving existence to the whole world. So shift the attention to that self in you, which is every moment experienced as amness. I am, I am, I am. Shift there. Everything else is because I am. So this is called as nirguna dhyana. Meditation upon the attributeless Brahman. This is the highest meditation. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi calls it self-inquiry. It is nothing but fixing the mind upon the self. So all those concepts of meditation have come from these statements. Loke sarvam avritya tishtati. So that Paramatma, which is the Supreme Self, the moment it identifies with the BMI, what happens to that Paramatma? It becomes the jīvātmā. So Paramatma with ignorance is Jīvātmā. Paramatma with BMI identification is Jīvātmā. Paramatma with wrong notion is Jīvātmā. Paramatma along with the kshetra is Jīvātmā. All these definitions are right. Paramatma fallen in Maya is Jīvātmā. What happens to such a Jīvātmā? So here in verse number 15 it is said that Paramatma as Jīvātmā becomes āsakta, becomes a guna-bhokta. Guna-bhoktra, sarvendriya gunabhasam, they are all the definition or the description of that Paramatma which has degraded itself to the status of a Jīvātmā. So what is being said here is, so in the same verse you will find the description of Paramatma also, description of Jīvātmā also. What does it mean? What it means is, it is the very same Paramatma who has become the Jīvātmā. They are not two different things. What is the difference between Jīvātmā and Paramatma? Just a wrong notion. Just a wrong notion. Now, just because a person has a wrong notion, that person doesn't change. Isn't it? A person is sleeping. Suppose your son is sleeping there. And then he is screaming in the dream. Will he cease to be your son just because now he is in the dream and seeing some strange dream things? Will that person cease to be your son? No. As a waker, he is my son. As a dreamer also, he remains to be my son. Yes or no? In the same way, Paramatma in full knowledge, he is Paramatma, but in ignorance he has become Jīvātmā. So will he become different from Paramatma? No. He continues to be Paramatma alone. Just because some wrong notion is there, you don't become something different from Paramatma. This is Advaita Siddhanta. Advaita, there is no second thing. He continues to be Paramatma alone. This is Advaita. Wrong notion in the mind has no value at all. Reality is reality. Whether you know it or not, it doesn't matter. Whether you believe it or not, it doesn't matter. Whether you accept it or not, it doesn't matter. Reality is reality. What is the reality? Tat-tvam-asi. Full stop. So that is why in the very same verse all these contradictory explanations are given. Terms are used. On one side, sarvendriya gunabhasam. On the other side, sarvendriya vivarjitam. Two things. One is describing the Jīvātmā, the other is describing the Paramatma. On one side, nirgunam. On the other side, guna-bhokta. You see? Both one and the same entity. It is just to indicate that this Paramatma alone has become Jīvātmā. So therefore, if wrong notion is the cause for the birth for Jīvātmā, what should be the solution? Wrong notion is a cause for this birth. So therefore, right understanding is the solution. Simple. That is why Bhagavan calls it Nyayam, the thing to be known. Wrong notion has created the Jīvātmā in me. So therefore, right understanding alone can put an end to Jīvātmā and give birth to Paramatma. That is why it is Nyayam, the thing to be known. Thing to be known means what? What is important there? Knowledge is important. Jnanam is important. It is a jnanam which makes this amazing transformation from Jīvātmā to Paramatma. Right. Now the question is, why is this ignorance making this Jīvātmā a bhokta? Why is this ignorance making him a bhokta? When there is knowledge, he is not bhokta, he is just, what you call, sakshi, nirguna. But the moment there is ignorance, he becomes a bhokta, he becomes an āsakta. Why is it so? The answer is simple. The moment Paramatma becomes Jīvātmā, That Jīvātmā, when he looks into the very core of his being, what will he find there? Will he find Ananda Swarupa or will he find Dukkha Swarupa? This is a very important question. When Paramatma looks into the core of its being, he will find there Satchidananda. In the self, Paramatma will find Satchidananda. What will Jīvātmā find there? What will Jīvātmā find in his heart? Jīvātmā will not find Satchidananda. What will he find? The consciousness identified with the BMI. What is that nature? Is it Ananda Swarupa or Dukkha Swarupa? It has to be Dukkha Swarupa only. Any limitation is Dukkha. Any impermanence is insecurity. Insecurity and sorrow. This is what a Jīvātmā will find when he looks within into his own heart. This experience of misery in the core of one's being is what is called as hrday-granthi. It's a term generally you find in the scriptures. Hrday-granthi, a knot in the heart. What is it that you are experiencing in yourself, in that aham? What is it that you are experiencing? You experience pain, you experience limitation, you experience insecurity. So all those are called as hrday-granthi, not in the heart. So that's why that famous verse, bhidyate hrday-granthihi chidyante sarva samshayaha kshiyante chasya karmani tasmin drishte paravare. A very famous verse. What happens when the knowledge takes place? Bhidyate hrday-granthihi, all the knots are cut as under. That's what it is saying. Means what? In your own heart you find perfection, which is experienced as Satchit Anand. So now, when due to ignorance, that Paramatma out of wrong notion, now he has become a Jīvātmā. As a Jīvātmā, when he is looking within, what is he finding there? Dukkha, sorrow, limitations. So, what will he be desiring? He will be desiring happiness alone. He will be desiring security alone. But he is not finding it inside. So therefore, where will he turn? He will not be turning inside. Now he will start seeking it outside. See, desiring perfection cannot be avoided. Jīvātmā experiences imperfection, but he is desiring perfection alone. So seeking perfection, inside it is not there, so therefore he starts seeking it outside. So that is how he becomes sarvendriya guna abhasa. Trying to experience, trying to seek that happiness and security outside. And that's how he goes out through the indriya gunas. That's how he uses his body, mind, senses, etc. to go out. Inside it is not there. Let me see whether it is outside, it is available or not. This is the thing. You understand? That's how he becomes guna-bhokta. So when he is indulging in sense pleasure, there is some joy coming out of there. He misunderstands that to be the real joy and he gets stuck. He becomes guna-bhokta. He becomes āsakta. Fully trapped there, totally attached there. He misunderstands sensual joys to be real joys. He misunderstands worldly security to be the real security. World also gives some security, no doubt about it. Who said no? Money can give us security. People around can give us security. Yes. Who said no? That security he misunderstands to be the real security. Fine, it is impermanent security, but at least some security I am getting. Gets attached. Something is better than nothing. Get totally attached. Stuck. You see? So each term is just the opposite of the other term. One is asaktam, the other is asaktam. One is guna-bhokta, the other is nirguna. As Paramatma, it is just the opposite. Paramatma doesn't need any security. Why? Because his nature is immortal. He doesn't need any security. Whereas Jīvātmā needs security, because now he is thinking that he is the body. That body needs security. So immediately LIC people will come. Yoga Kshemam Vahmyam. I will give you security. You get trapped there. Finished. Body needs security. The self doesn't need any security. The moment we identify with the body, we become a beggar. We are beggar of happiness, we are beggar of security. But that's it, finished. We are tired, totally tired. Āsaktam. Right? So these are all the consequences of ignoring knowledge. We don't realize this. Whatever misery we are experiencing, imperfections we are experiencing, sufferings we are, it's all because of lack of right understanding. That's why Bhagavan says is Neyam, you must know it. You must know it. Otherwise life is hell. Life is misery. You may do so many things, but it's of no use. No use. It must be known. Neyam. Bahirantascha bhutanam acharam charamevacha. So the description of this consciousness. What is it? Bahihi antaha. It is inside also, it is outside also. But what is the experience of a Jīvātmā? He says, outside I don't know, but inside I am there. Where does he find himself? He finds himself inside the body, within the boundaries of the body. Why is he finding it inside? He is finding it inside because attachment is inside. Bas, that's all. It is with the mind that he is getting attached. Mind is inside, so therefore he feels himself inside. Antaha. Bahihi, he doesn't know because identification is not there. The infinite consciousness, the moment it identifies with the body, that consciousness as though experiences limited within the body. Now this is called as antaha. But what is the nature of consciousness? Bahihi antaha, it is there everywhere, inside and outside. Charam acharam evacha, it is there everywhere. In the moving things, in the non-moving things, in the living things, in the non-living things, everywhere it is there. Everywhere it is there. It's very interesting. The nature of consciousness is Sat, Chit, Anand, isn't it? In the whole world, you will find Sat is there, existence is there, it is there in everything. What about Chit? Chit means, you can say, knowing principle. You will find that it is only there in the living beings. Sat is everywhere, Chit is only in the living beings. Why? Because to experience Chit, Sukshma Sharira is necessary. Subtle body is necessary. So only in the living beings you see Chit. What about Anand? Only in the purified Sukshma Sharira you will find Anand. You see? Sat is everywhere. Chit is somewhere. Anand is, I can't say nowhere, but in very rare few individuals you find Anand. Because what is the qualification necessary there? Evolved Sukshma Sharira, purified Sukshma Sharira, such a Sukshma Sharira alone will experience Anand. Exact like the mirror. Highly polished mirror will reflect the sun as it is. So too here. So see the gradation, Satchit Ananda gradation in the world. So a Mahatma who has thoroughly purified his mind, such a Mahatma experienced Sat Chit Anand in full measure. Otherwise in the inanimate things it's just Sat. So Bahirantascha Bhutanam Acharam Charamevacha Sukshmatva Tat Avitneyam. Who is this Paramatma? He is my own self, but I don't know. It is me, but I don't know it. Even when it is told, I am not knowing it. This is a very, very, that's why it is called the greatest secret. Rajavidya Rajaguhyam. It is the greatest secret. Even when I am told that it is me, I am not able to know it. Great secrets and all, once it is told, it's gone. But this secret is such, even when it is told, we are not able to understand. The reason is mentioned here. Sukshmatvat. That ultimate truth is extremely sukshma, subtle, the subtlest. That which is subtle, to know it, the instrument of gaining knowledge, that instrument also has to be subtle. This is a law. If the knowledge is subtle, the instrument to know. What is the instrument to know here? The mind is the instrument. That mind also has to be equally subtle. Only a subtle instrument can gain the knowledge of a subtle thing. The importance of mind, we all know it. If the mind is disturbed, even while, say for example, reading a book, if the mind is disturbed, you will not be able to understand anything. Isn't it? If the mind is peaceful, you are able to grasp more. So therefore, gaining knowledge and the state of the mind has got a relationship. If the mind is disturbed, I am not able to focus, concentrate and gain knowledge. If the mind is peaceful, I am able to gain. So therefore, knowledge has something to do with preparation of this instrument of knowing, which is mind. So therefore, if you have to know the subtlest of the thing in this world, which is the self, so the mind also has to be equally subtle. How to make the mind subtle? By making it pure. How to make it pure? By cultivating the noble virtues of life. It is absolutely unavoidable. Sukshmatva tat avitneyam. Cultivate all noble virtues of life. Then that mind will be helplessly getting attracted to spiritual knowledge. And that mind will have an effortless enthusiasm in pursuing this knowledge. Now, these are all the expressions of purity of mind. How much attracted are you towards this knowledge? How much of enthusiasm do you find in yourself to seek this knowledge? Because for this knowledge, lot of perseverance is necessary, lot of hard work is necessary, lot of patience is necessary. But if the mind is pure, that mind will say, no problem, it is still worth it, let us try. Even if not in this birth, next birth also we will continue. This kind of attitude comes only in a pure mind. You see, it is not only about reaching that higher state, it is also about striving for it. You need lot of enthusiasm. A pure mind will automatically generate it. And that is why all these virtues should be practiced diligently. Sukshmatva tat avitneyam durastham cha antike chatat. It is very, very far also. It is very, very near also. The self is far and near. Why? Because it is all-pervading. Anything which is all-pervading is everywhere. Far or near, it doesn't make any difference. That is one meaning. So yesterday I had given the other meaning. What is the other meaning? Those who have not purified their mind. Those who just by reading some Upanishad book and Bhagavad Gita, some people are like that. Let me see what Upanishad has said. Let me see what Bhagavad Gita has said, with lot of air of arrogance. He may be a great PhD holder, etc. Now he tries to understand the meaning of Bhagavad Gita and the scriptures, etc. with this air of arrogance that I can understand anything. under the sun. With this attitude, if you approach this knowledge, durastham. Durastham means what? Yesterday I was told, no? Varsha sahasra kotyapi. Thousands of crores of births or years he may struggle, he will not get it. Because this knowledge is such, the first value itself is amanitva. With total humility, we should approach this knowledge. Only then Shruti Mata will reveal the secrets of the scriptures. For those who are approaching this knowledge with an unprepared mind, this knowledge is very, very far. This self is very, very far. But those who have prepared the mind, antike, very near. Very near means what? Your own self. Even to say near is wrong, it is your own self. There is no distance at all. Then another description is given here. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktamiva cha sthitam. So this consciousness appears to be vibhaktam, divided. Actually, what is its nature? Avibhaktam, undivided. But it appears to be divided. This is what happens when we identify with the BMI. That jīvātmā appears to be divided. He feels that I am this body, the other person is the other body. So we are all different atmas in different bodies. This is called as divided. These are all wrong notions. So to make this concept clear, so many examples are given. One theory, very famous theory to make it clear, is called Avachhedavāda, the theory of limitations. So what is that theory? Pot and the space. So that space inside the pot, identifying with the pot, what does it say? I am pot space, I am inside the pot only. That pot space says, I am this limited pot space inside the pot. And what is his feeling? As long as the pot is there, I am there. Once the pot is gone, I am gone. This is called as Avachhedavāda. But what is the truth? The truth is, you are not inside the pot, rather the pot is inside you. Somebody has to tell that pot space, oh my dear space, you are not inside, rather the pot is inside you. You are infinite space. You have nothing to do with the pot. Today pot is there, tomorrow pot may not be there, but you, the space, will always exist. See? But if that pot space is constantly meditating upon the pot, attached to the pot, paying attention only to the pot, then what will that pot space feel? That pot space will feel, as long as the pot is, I was born with the pot, I will die with the pot. The same thing has happened to us also. What pot space has made a mistake, the same mistake we have. So what are we thinking? I am born with this body, I will die with this body. Array, you are not inside the body. What is the truth? Body is inside you. You are that awareness. In that awareness, body is seen. See the different way of looking at things. You are not inside the body. Body is in you. Body is in you means what? You are awareness. Body you are aware of. It's an object of awareness. In the awareness it is present. And that is why in deep sleep it is gone. Body is a part of the waking world. So to say that you are in the body is absolutely wrong. It is exactly like space telling I am inside the pot. So this is called as Avachhedavāda, theory of limitation. I am not inside the body, rather body is inside me. But we are not even able to accept this truth. You know why? The identification is so strong with the body that even when it is told, we are not ready to accept it. Swamiji, what are you saying? I clearly feel that I am inside the body. How are you feeling it? With my mind? That is a problem. Mind is a problem. The identification is so much that I feel that I am inside. That is why when you start meditation, slowly, you will find that your identification start increasing with consciousness. And as your identification starts increasing with consciousness, what happens? Identification with the body drops off. And then you will find, as that Chitta Shuddhi and Chitta Ekagrata increases, a little bit of depth, the moment you gain in meditation, you will find that you are not limited by the body. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mato bhayat, Bhagavan says. Little bit of practice you do. Little bit of concentration you achieve. Then concentrate. Close your eyes and concentrate, and little bit of depth, you will find that you are not the body. You become, what do you call, that awareness of body drops. In fact, even in sleep also it happens. Forget about meditation. Even in sleep it happens. You drop the body awareness. Same thing happens in meditation also. What is needed is practice. So, the point is that these are all wrong notions of the mind. That I am in the body, I am existing in the body. These are all wrong notions. The moment experience start coming, these wrong notions start dropping away automatically. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam evacha sthitam. As the mind meditates upon consciousness, the mind starts experiencing the properties of consciousness. Mind starts dropping the wrong notions born through identification. This is what happens at the seat of meditation. After that, you experience that you are not limited by the body, rather you have no limits. This is the experience. You are not limited. Remember, I am not saying you are infinite. The moment I say infinite, that moment you think that yes, I am everywhere, all pervading. Not that. Then you are imagining space then. This is one of the major mistakes which we all commit. The moment we say infinite, we think we are everywhere. Everywhere means that is space. Still, it's a concept of the mind only. When we are saying infinite, it simply means you have no limits. That's all. Absence of limit is infinity. So don't think that at the seat of meditation you will experience you are everywhere. You are everywhere means what? That becomes a drishya vastu then. If it is a drishya vastu, you are not that. It's just a mental imagination. All these are imaginations of the mind. It is not the self. It is mere imagination. Sometimes they come and say, Swamiji, at the seat of meditation, I felt I am everywhere. Oh, everywhere. That means space was very much there. Yeah, space was very much there. Gone, finished. So, experience of infinity is not experience, the all-pervading, it simply means experience without limits. The sense of limitation vanishes. This is the meaning actually. Sense of limitation. Because that sense of limitation is due to bodily identification. Body is limited, so therefore if you identify with the body, the mind will experience a limitation. So this limitation is born out of identification. But when that mind is trained to meditate upon consciousness, this sense of limitation vanishes. That is what is called as avibhaktam. And that is our nature. That is our nature. So just like that, space is the support of the pot, but the pot space misunderstands itself to be within the pot. And it misunderstands that the pot is supporting it. In the same way, we think we are supported by the body. These are all wrong notions of the mind. Another famous example is the wave and the water example. The wave thinks, rather the water in the wave thinks, as long as the wave is, I am there. The moment the wave is dead, I am gone. This is the wrong notion of water in the wave. These are all different examples given by Mahatmas. The moment the water identifies with the wave, this water is scared of the shore. Because once the shore reaches, wave is gone, I am dead. The fear. But when that water identifies with the totality, he comes to know, Arey, I am the one who is supporting the wave. It is not the wave which is supporting me. I, the infinite water, is giving existence to the wave. So that is what he said. Bhuta bhartr grasishnu prabhavishnu cha. In me everything is born, in me everything dissolves. Prabhavishnu, birth. Grasishnu, death. Bhuta bhartr, the supporter of all beings. So it is the consciousness in which all beings emerge, they rise, they exist, and they dissolve. That is consciousness. But in ignorance, what happens? We think, I am the body, and now the body is supporting me, body is dead meat, I am God. These are all wrong notions. All because of absence of knowledge. Now, let us come to the next verse, verse number 18. Jyotishamapi tajyotihi tamasah paramuchyate jnanam jneyam jnanagamyam hrday sarvasya vishsthitam jyotishamapi tajyotihi tamasah paramuchyate jnanam jneyam jnanagamyam hrday sarvasya vishsthitam. Yes. Now, another way of looking at consciousness. Jyotishamapi tat jyotihi. It is a light of all lights. Tamasah paramuchyate. It is beyond tamas, darkness. So, consciousness is defined as light of all lights. Now, what does it mean? So, in Vedanta, light is defined as that in the presence of which a thing is seen. That's how light is defined. Light is that in the presence of which things are seen. So, sunlight, torchlight, lightning light, fire light, they are all light. Why? In their presence, you see things. Now, consciousness is called as light of lights. What do you mean, light of lights? This consciousness is called light of lights because in the light of consciousness, even this external light is seen. Suppose there is no consciousness, then what will happen? Light may be there, but I will not be aware. Isn't it? Jyotishamapi jyotihi. That light, in the presence of which even other lights are seen. I am aware of the external light because of this light of consciousness, light of awareness. Therefore, it is called Jyotisham Jyotihi. The external light can show only the form and the color. What about this internal light? It can show not only Rupa, but Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, everything can be illumined. It can be shown. In that presence, you see. In that light of consciousness, you hear Shabda. In that light of consciousness, you feel Sparsha. Like that. So all the 5 sense organs, they are able to bring a particular knowledge from the world. It is only because of the presence of this consciousness, the light of consciousness. That's why it is called Jyotisham Jyotihi. And that's why when you do the arati, actually this is what is being said. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyuto bhanti kuto yamagnihi tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Whatever I am saying. So this is the mantra to be chanted while doing arati to the Lord. O Lord, what a foolish person I am. With this little light of mine, with this fire, I am trying to know you. Actually, you are that light of consciousness because of which I am conscious of this light. It is not that this light is showing you. In fact, the truth is you are showing this light. You are that light in me which is showing this light which is external. The internal light is showing the external light. And what a fool I am trying to see you with the external light. This is the meaning. So the light of consciousness, every moment it is there with us, as awareness, as consciousness. This light of consciousness, who is he? Is none other than Bhagavan himself. Tamasaf param uchyate. Tamas means darkness. Now very interestingly, this light of consciousness can illumine darkness also. Tamas also. You are seeing darkness. In which light are you seeing that darkness? If this question is asked. You close your eyes, there is darkness. How are you seeing that darkness? So then we have to say, I am seeing that darkness in the light of consciousness. Yes, that is what is being said here. Jyotisham Jyoti. God is defined as a light of consciousness, which can illumine even darkness also. External light cannot illumine the darkness. The moment light comes, darkness is gone. But this, the beauty of this consciousness is, it is that light in which darkness also can exist. Very strange. Now, these are all tips for meditation. You are searching, where is God? Close your eyes. Are you seeing darkness? Who is illumining that darkness? That is God. Tamasaf paramuchyate. Now, another beautiful thing. In Vedanta, the illuminator is always higher than illumined. Is a law. The knower is always higher than the known. Not only it is higher, it is also inner. The knower is always inner compared to the known. It is higher and inner. So therefore, sense objects are there. Who are knowing the sense objects? The sense organs. So sense organs are higher than the sense objects. Sense organs are inner to me compared to the sense objects. Who is knowing the sense organs? The mind. So mind is higher than the sense organs and inner to me than the sense organs. Intellect is knowing the mind, so intellect is higher than the mind. Indriyani paranyahu indriyebhya parammanah manasastu para buddhihi yo buddhe paratastu sa. So see, Bhagavan himself has said, higher than sense organs is mind, higher than mind is intellect. Right. So that which is knowing the other, the knower is higher, the known is lower. Drashta is higher, drishya is lower. Kshetrajna is higher, kshetra is lower. In the Vedantic terminology. So finally you have the intellect. Intellect is, say, witnessed by the ego. Ego is witnessed by the Supreme Self. So which is the highest and the innermost? It has to be the Supreme Self. It is what is called as Kshetrajna, the Supreme Self, the Atma. It is the innermost and therefore the highest. Because this one makes everything else a drishya vastu. The only drashta which can never become drishya, the pure consciousness. Tamasah paramuchyate. That which is inner is higher. So what does it mean? Those who can go inside, they are more evolved. See that? Those who are extroverted, they are less mature, unevolved. Those who can look within, they are evolved. How does this ability to look within help us? How does the ability to look within help us? Very simple. What is the law? As your thoughts, so will be your words. As your words, so will be your actions. As your actions, so will be your habits. As your habits, so will be your personality. As your personality, so will be your destiny. This is a very famous verse. Beware of your thoughts because they become your words. Very famous quote. So, the one who can look within, go within, one who has got greater control over the higher things in his personality, one who has greater control over the higher things, in this case the highest thing is thoughts. The one who has got thoughts, he will have everything else under his control. His personality is under control. His actions are under his control. His words are under his control. His habits are under his control. He can come out of any bad habit. And finally, his world is also under his control. Now, what else you want? You create a heaven around you. See? The more you go inside, the more powerful you become. Because everything will be under your control now. Every aspect of your personality is under your control. The more powerful you become, the more powerful you are, automatically you command the universe to change. The universe around you will have to change when you change. The power comes from within. That's the power of a meditator. A person who meditates, he is far ahead of others, far ahead. There's no comparison. Because he is more powerful. Rather we can say he is nearer to the most powerful. Who is the most powerful? Kshetrajna is the most powerful. So when you are going within, you are going nearer to God. The omniscient, the omnipotent. Nearer you are to God, more powerful you are, naturally. You see, the aspects of Vedanta. Tamasah paramuchyate. Tamas also means ajnana. Ajnana means ignorance. Tamasah para means which has no trace of ignorance. It is pure knowledge. Tamasah paramuchyate. Jnanam, jneyam, jnanagamyam, hrday-sarvasya vishtitam. This great truth is in the hearts of everyone. Sarvasya hrday vishtitam. It is there. You cannot complain. God, you are not there in my heart. That is why I am not able to realize you. No. God is impartial in this regard. Everyone has it. We all have it in our own heart. Now, if I am not experiencing it, I cannot blame God. I have to blame myself. What is the qualification for experiencing? A pure heart. Purity is the qualification. That purity is something which I have to gain, I have to earn through my good thoughts, words and deeds. Hrday-sarvasya vishtitam. So if somebody is suffering, he alone is responsible. because he has ignored the Lord of his heart. Some people make use of this great knowledge by going towards God, taking help from God, strengthening. Some people, they are not aware of it, they don't care for it also. They suffer in life. So this knowledge, Bhagavan says, it is jnanam, it is the ultimate knowledge. Neyam, it is something to be known. Jnanagamyam, it is something which can be reached through knowledge. What is that jnanagamyam? We will see tomorrow. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet, asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.